There are many iceberg videos on YouTube, but that doesn't change the fact that they're all interesting. Maybe they're about our favorite games, some dark theories, or maybe just some political stuff. Today I'll be talking about the Spam Challenges Iceberg. If you don't know what icebergs are, I'll give you a quick explanation of what they are. The icebergs theory is a style of writing coined by the American writer Ernest Hemingway. The theory is so named because just as a small part of an iceberg is visible above water, Hemingway's stories presented only a small part of what was actually happening. The deeper you go, the more obscure things can be. With that out of the way, this will be about the Spam Challenges Iceberg, created around 2 months ago. The Spam Challenges, or the SCL for short, is a small community in the Joinmolten fanbase. The main premise is, well, spam. Sometimes in a consistent manner, or spam up or down. Or maybe it's just pure CPS. Whatever it may be, it requires fast fingers. Now, let's get started. Warning. This iceberg is slightly outdated and may have old or now obsolete information. Topi is a popular creator amassing over 200,000 subscribers and being well known for his jitter clicking and his control over it. But his skills in the SCL are very on the low end of the skilled level required to beat many of the levels on the list. But many people that don't know of the SCL may think he's one of the best. I'm sorry to say this, but he isn't. This is a running joke in the community that he is the best spammer as a satirical mark. Lip spam is a kind of spam using your lips to make the raspberry lip sound like this. This is done because of a program that clicks the mouse, up arrow, or spacebar every time it hears a sound. What this does when making a sound while the program is on can make a massive amount of inputs at a time, making many spam challenges very easy, resulting in a ban of this method. Even when the method was banned, people were still using it and getting videos very popular from it. You fucking what, mate? Or UFMW for short, is a skilled player in the Geometry community beating hard challenges such as SC66P, 3 Seconds Hell and Hell, Diamond Blade, and much more. He relates to spam challenges because he created extremely hard spam challenges like what the, Triple Spam God, and others. These challenges used to be at the top of the list, now fallen down very far as people have improved and made much harder challenges. This is another ban method, even more broken than lip spam. The premise is that people were buying their jump keys to the scroll wheel. Every time it's scrolled, the player will jump. Even just that can give a ton of CPS for a short period of time. But people wanted more, so people found out that a certain kind of mouse, the G502, is a very loose scroll wheel. This causes when air is blown at the wheel, it will spin extraordinarily fast, causing hundreds of inputs a second, making the challenges free, causing again another method to be banned. The FNM04 texture pack is a texture pack the popular GD YouTuber uses in his videos. He has been asked many times to release a texture pack, but in fact, it's not even his. Someone else created it for a private group of friends, including FNM04. People wanted the pack and were calling it the FNM04 texture pack, but it's not even named that. It's actually called the Hapo texture pack. We'll get to that later. Needles, one of the most popular and skilled spam players out there, creating the spam list entirely and beating many extreme spam challenges like Croqueta, Ubongo, and last but not least, Garbanzo, the longest standing top 1 on the list, requiring 240 frame perfects for around a second while also spamming at around 16 to 18 CPS. Another extremely skilled spammer, but for another reason. He is the first victor and creator of many spam challenges such as Spam Legend, What? Triple Spam Legend, Triple Spam God, and many others. Triple Spam God would start him into being one of the best spammers and was the hardest challenge for a while. TSL is the greatest achievement in spamming history in my opinion. This level was created by Nxise and he has been grinding attempts for over 4 months, dying at the last frame over 3 times. He gave up the level to Suck Central, a great spam player, and guess what? He beat it in under 4 days. The most unexpected thing, the craziest thing, TSL pushing Garbons with the number 2 spot. Later, Nxise finally beat it after dying to the last frame once again. While he beat it, I was on a call with Joinmolten. When he joined, he sounded like he was on Rainbow Toxabilium B, and he said he beat it. We knew what it was instantly and congratulated him for the completion. It was a great moment finally, breaking the stress and the curse of the level that had on him. Later on, Joinmolten had also beaten it very quickly. Considered one of the best spammers out of now, he has beaten Triple Spam God, Triple Spam Legend, What the, Mod of Minecraft to KO Bull, End Credits, and Execution, just to name a few. He is also a popular YouTuber and a skilled challenge player too. This is the trilogy of spam challenges created by UFWM. These challenges were at the top of the time and remained unbeaten for a while, but now have fallen or close to falling off the list. Hapo is a private friend group of the SEL where staff or good friends of the staff are invited to this. This is where many of the staff talk and have fun. This also gives you the most updated version of the Hapo texture pack. Many people ask to get in, but this usually only lowers your chances of getting invited. Well, Nxise is a furry. Yeah. Not sure what else to say except it's a running joke in the SEO. This is a spam type using the game mode spider consisting of a ladder of blocks in quick succession, creating the challenge of mostly pure CPS. This type of spam is mostly hated as considered hardware based, meaning some products used are better to spam than others, creating a price barrier and a location barrier sometimes. Most of these challenges are the same thing. Actually, never mind, that's the whole list. But anyways, many people have tried to ban the style spamming, but it is still allowed to this day. This is a spam challenge so hard no one has legitimately beaten it so far. It was created as the harder Garbanzo with redecoration with the infamous last block having it smaller than the rest of the level and extremely tight. As for the quote-unquote verification, the level has been passed down to many people, but later Firenox, the verifier of the current top 2, Ubungo Z, stole the level without permission and hack verified it. It wasn't known until he hacked it until Dubby, the verifier of the current top 1, SoundCloud, was skeptical and looked into it deeper and found that it was no-clipped by showing the wave went into the block too much for him not to die, proving he no-clipped it. He was still saying it wasn't hacked even though the evidence was right there, but later on realized his mistake and said he accidentally pressed his no-clip line, which is close to his spacebar, the key he was using to spam, making him go through the block. But the run was very accurate, making him think he really did beat it. Much later, he again quote-unquote beat it, but this time, his footage got corrupted. Maybe he'll no-clip it again, but that's the future to tell. This is an incident where Kunk, a newer joiner at the time, claimed to have progress on Calculator Core, a top 10 demon at the time, and later on, he fluked a level. He was congratulated, but his dumbass thought it would be a good idea to auto-level and upload it to YouTube, exposing himself. But it would be later on where he would finally be caught, as some keen eyes saw that the clicks don't match up to any of the gameplay, eventually leading up to him confessing. He was forgiven because he was never toxic and he never had an ego that he had, in quotations, beat a top 10 demon. This story goes much deeper, and I'm planning on creating a separate video on this. What up was Noise's first message in the SEL, and hi was Needles' first messages. Nothing much else to say here. Spam God and now Easy Spam Challenge used to be at number 17 when the list just started. Now, it's not even Legacy, meaning that players have improved over time. Even Triple Spam God is at number 20. V27P is an older challenge consisting of mostly spider spam. This is a part in Stormfly level's Volnix where he died to the last click of it and it was never verified. Being incredibly hard at the time, Waremum is the creator and verifier of the level, but the level has mostly been forgotten as it hasn't been brought up in a long time. This level contained pink orb head hitters and the quesadilla spam twice in a row. Quesadilla is one of the first spider spams. Paco submitted his challenge Tap Fast Yes, Tap Fastest Yes, and Blombus to the spam challenge list. These were removed to the list due to his method for beating them being hardware based. This caused a huge controversy. The level Blombus isn't even close to being on the list now, even when it was verified using a banned method. V453C70M14, or Vase for short, used to be one of the original owners of SEL before stepping down to unknown reasons. He is now one of the best challenge players, and he would get extreme progress on the challenge called Galo 5, a top 1 challenge. Noise, the owner of the SEL, thought it'd be real funny if he did add everyone in general chat, since no one has done it before. Wallen called Joinmolten pleaded him not to do it. Waremum was just annoyed at the thought, and me being the Agent of Chaos begged him to do it, and guess what? He did it. The SEL went wild with people that never said a word talk, and other notable people talked, resulting in general to explode. There's a video on this and it will be in the description. When TSL was verified, people were going insane, and then out of nowhere, Teleprosty sends this in general. Arm fast sex, an idiot script, plus undetected in China 100%, undetected Chinese script. And Noise, Waremum, Joinmolten, and the rest of Hapo thought it was the funniest shit ever. No one could stop laughing. Later we found out it was from League of Legends Reddit copypasta. One simple message started a whole new type of humor called undetected in Hapo. One day, FNMO4 and Needles thought it would be a great idea to unban every single spam method in SEL. Noise hated the idea, he didn't want it to happen, but they insisted, and guess what? It did not end well, as people were completing challenges with banned methods. It was a scramble to beat the hardest spam challenge with methods making the entire list free, so it was reverted. This is a video Waremum found in a suggested tab on YouTube, making him post it into Hapo general chat. This is another kind of undetected joke. Due to stress of handling a large community filled with uneducated children, it was hard for him to retain all the rules and resulted in him resigning many times, but he always came back. He is currently one of the owners today. Triple Spam God, or TSG for short, and Croqueta both were on the list when it first came out. The two challenges fought over which was harder, and as no one had a decent opinion on it yet, as they were both very different spamming styles and neither have been beaten by someone else yet. But later on, Nxise would be the first victor, making Croqueta the harder one. A user called Bobby, mostly known as Ballsack, created a chain for himself, known as Ballsack. This was created on the channel's 6-hour slow mode where people can only send one message every 6 hours. Getting 100 messages was hard enough, but saying the same thing over and over again was harder. But that's what he just did. People started to notice the trend he was doing and attempted to copy him. Around the halfway mark, he was banned by Nxise by getting into a small argument, but was unbanned quickly because of a miscommunication, and after 2 months he finally reached 100 and got his own special role to go with it. A possible top 1 spam challenge at the time made by Wball. It is 5.2 seconds of 59 FPS spam. It is now obsolete as it has been replaced by SoundCloud, the top one on the day writing this. Itsy Bitsy is a spider spam challenge, and around its time is when spider spamming was frowned upon. The creator, Zhowie, said it was at least top 10 at the time, resulting in people saying it isn't. Once Zhowie verified it, he was bombarded by hate, and people started completing it in a small amount of attempts, resulting in many saying the level's free, resulting in a joke when someone says their spider spam challenge is top 10 or harder. This refers to the time when the Discord server of the SCL had been boosted to level 3, the highest level a server can reach, giving an option to create a custom invite. The staff was brainstorming ideas until someone suggested spam, and to their surprise it wasn't taken. So they used that custom invite for a little bit until people started to join and started spamming. The staff, wondering why, made the conclusion that the invite was just spam, giving people the idea that they could just spam whatever they wanted to. It was later changed to discord.gg/spam list before later on losing the level 3 perks. Nxise one day almost got cancelled from supposedly leaking a bunch of levels and got massive amounts of hate for it. It was later found out that Nxise was not at fault for any of it, as he was only the messenger and not the problem. One of UFWM's first messages was "Tiene el trululu tan largo que puede hacer el tripode." I have no clue what this means, as Google Translate does not help, but it's pinned, so it must be important. Next one. Suck Central, the verifier of TSL, religiously talks about TSL is free top 1, and it should not be top 1, and Garbanzo is harder. And, well, now Garbanzo is harder. Joinmolten once led a comment from Needle's Azure Flare Run videos, and this is what it contained. 1 attempt to verify. For me, no cap brother. I have an extraordinary IQ. It's 129, even though I'm only 11. It's pretty outstanding how I'm so amazing and cool I can verify new Azure Flare by Needle's GD in 1 attempt. This was absolutely hilarious and cannot be forgotten. Disclaimer. Past this point of the video, some entries can get a bit odd if there are sensitive topics related to the entry. This was an NSFW channel in the SEL Discord. It used to be named The Chamber, but it was renamed to the Crazen Zone. Later on, the staff realized that an NSFW channel, named after a child predator, in a server filled with younger people wasn't a great idea, and they archived it, and then they later deleted it. When the list was first made, the challenge The Duel by Needles was above Joinmolten Can't Beat by Needles. Now, currently, as of today, The Duel isn't even considered spam anymore, and Joinmolten Can't Beat is not even on the list anymore. This was a member who constantly told people he was garbage at spam, which was true. This resulted in them mocking O's lines if anyone said they were bad at spam or just simply mention them. When this caught wind, an O's lines emoji was added just of his profile picture, then he was banned. But to this day, people still make the joke when the opportunity is presented to them. This was the very first message in SEL. It was Vase saying first with a GIF. W-Ball and Noise, both very skilled spammers, starting dating for a little bit before splitting up. They are still good friends and still actively talk to this day. Noise is attracted to Chester and Zionlock, so much so that Hapo was banned from the SEL Discord for the reason fart money. The main reason was most likely for being disrespectful to others. When Noise first joined the SEL, he didn't even know who Needles was. He was just a member. He was later promoted to helper and then admin, and then owner in a matter of under a month. Goreshi is one of the original members of Hapo, and many of the jokes and references are based or made off by him. They have changed drastically to what they are now. Naif, a staff in the rivaling server, The Challenge List, started to talk bad about others and got into an argument. He simply said, "I like how I'm mad." Many others found it funny for some reason, and now it's a joke. The Name, a former staff of the SEL, had done a face reveal, but was very brief and quickly forgotten as many people don't know what he looks like to this day. Joinmolten commented on the video saying, "One attempt verify," as a joke mentioned earlier. Someone replied with this gem. Also, even if I'm under 11, it doesn't mean like I'm one of those average kids that hate math and can't spell. Most of the people I meet say that I talk like a 15-year-old and say that I am as smart as one. Please learn more about me by having conversations with me and learning what I'm really like. What I'm currently see about you is that you think every kid is under 11 is a stupid idiot that doesn't know square numbers or square root and all that stuff like spelling and calculus. I have nothing to say about teenagers/adults. Even if you're not a teenager or adult, I really think you need to change your mentality towards kids. With the time you spent writing that, you could have talked to me about stuff and see that I'm not some average kid. And don't just sit there watching anime and admiring your profile picture. Actually try to do something to make yourself change. By saying what you said to me was quite a dumb thing to say. By saying what you said to me, you probably live in equality. By saying what you said to me, you probably live in Equatorial Guinea, where the average IQ is 59, because that was quite dumb. where the average IQ is 59 because that was a quite dumb thing to say. Tired of all my bullcrap? Keep rolling your eyes and maybe you'll find a brain. Maybe you'll find one first before the brain-eating amoeba do. Maybe they'll have nothing to eat. Can't find your brain? Well, it might be because you don't have one. No wonder why the brain-eating amoeba... No wonder why the brain-eating amoeba have nothing to eat. This was a channel called Chat Dumpster and had the main purpose of letting anyone post anything off topic that was safe for work. This did not go well as the moderation wasn't good at the time and it became a war zone. It was quickly deleted in under an hour. On a rare occasion, there will be votes among the staff to ban/mute someone. That someone was Paco, a staff member in the challenge list. At the time, there wasn't that many staff online, so it was a 3-to-1 vote to ban him. Getting a screenshot of this vote, Paco said slim ratio, and then was immediately banned right after for the reason slim ratio. This is a collab among many notable people in the Spam Challenge list, a community that created a top 1 challenge set to be verified by Joinmolten. This collab is decently old, but is not forgotten. When Noise was looking at a comment section of the level Triple Spam God, he found a comment made by the guy, Boner, and showed the ad at 100%. GG Boner. The word ERP stands for erotic roleplay, and it was banned for obvious reasons, as the word would pop up in many discussions and out of nowhere causing people to talk about it and making others uncomfortable and disgusted. Then, it was unbanned the next day for unknown reasons, but the word ERP hasn't been brought up that much. Thank God. COCY is a group of friends and is short for the Communist Cyclone. Needles was banned because of the leaking issues stated earlier. He hasn't been unbanned even when the issue was resolved, and he was never even in the wrong. This is another undetected joke, but it was much more known as the joke was kept in Hapo and not shown in the SEO Discord. Hapo was first made as a joke server, but as more friends were invited, it slowly turned into a friend group like it is now. This was a server for Hapo members to create GIFs and memes easily using the ESM bot, which all you have to do is type in a command and it will create a GIF with text on it. This is one of the best undetected jokes out there, as when Waremum was translating random stuff, he came across this. This was the first message in Needles' channel in the server swag zone. Then it was later made into a GIF. Around the time Noise beat Triple Spam God, the challenge list claimed it to be harder than Shield Death, the top 1 at the time, resulting in Noise getting the top 1 victor for around 2 days before getting it removed later on. This assortment of words came from Noise, Joinmolten, and Waremum when they used the combination of the Gunsling Corridor lyrics and Google Translate to make this a thing. This was the original name for Pepino when it was still just a layout. Joinmolten decided to comment on what with Noise is a furry who secretly RPs with UFMW. And UFWM replied to it on Twitter with fake news, but everyone knows he really does. Shh. This ban was when the entire grooming situation was public and the ban reason was just the N-word, hard R. Rough, but definitely deserved. This was an old Discord server that abandoned to create the SEL that we all know today. This is another example of translating the gunslinger lyrics. One time, Hapo was playing a game of Scribble.io. They made a custom game of only having the demon list as things they could draw. As someone picked Sunset Sandstorm, Joinmolten opted for the much cooler way of saying Sunset Sandstorm and simply typed Sandstorm Sandstorm. This was an account on GD that only posted furry stuff. A lot of it. When Nxise and Goreshi found the account, they had this moment that they had something in common. This is how Nxise met Goreshi, as they wanted to make a texture pack together but failed miserably and decided to be friends instead. This server was an old porn server that included Goreshi, Nxise, Needles, and Intent Fox. This server eventually evolved what is today Hapo. One day, Hapo decided to raid some small streams and decided to spam Juniper raid to try and trick some streamers that they were being raided by Juniper, a popular GD YouTuber. This won't get into much detail since it's very personal, but long story short, Nxise hated Goreshi for a while, so he blocked. This was Nxise's old GD account name before he changed it a couple other times, before finally changing it to Nxise, the name we all know today. This secret is very important to me, but it's been long enough. I'll say it right now. I am a